All right. So I wrote down 3 things in the last 12, 14 hours. Compelling story, real truth, their truth versus your truth. And I wanted to touch on them. So I think that where we are at right now, in whatever you want to call this, the Matrix, the Great Awakening, the Revolution, whatever you want to call this. So many people are waking up to the fact that we've been living in a Truman Show reality. And it's just, I feel it. Me too. And so it's great. I mean, it's not great. I don't love it. It makes me very sad, but I mean, it's the realization that you wake up to like, wait a minute, I'm not the only one that's been living in a Truman Show. We all have. We all really have. And so it's really interesting. It's interesting to see how God's just kind of like peeling back the onion layers, peel one by one, showing people's true colors, their false facades, their misguidance in previous choices throughout the years and what they've tied into, you know. Like I was watching Tucker and Massey and something came to me in reference to, I can see them, obviously there's manipulated markets right now in reference to this war, and there's particular people getting very rich. And that's why that's why wars are known for enriching particular groups of people. And so it's one of those things that when you can manipulate the markets and you have some millions of people tied into the markets, and it's an easy way to funnel money out to the masses and reference. It's like, for example, sending messaging out like 333 or 33 hours, see you in Valhalla, like all these, it's similar to the same scenario in reference to it and how to make sure that your kind or whatever, however you want to classify it, like classifications, right? In reference to keeping the profit coming in, keep holding the line, keep doing your job, and this is how we'll make sure we take care of you at the Americans' demise, essentially. And that's what's been happening throughout the years upon years upon years. And so that's what's landed us where we're at right now, where the cost of living is through the roof. And they're trying to spoon feed it as if it's not. And it's like, no, they're completely out of reality. You know, I think people hold on to the fact of some of the things that Trump says. You have to understand, Trump does not view the American people as him. Like our way of life, he doesn't even think about. I'm sorry, but he doesn't. Agree to disagree. But you can just tell by his choice of words, his actions, his demeanor, what it just is. You have to look at these things to recognize the truth. Because people are waiting for evidence and truth. That is all manipulated. It's all very manipulated and populated. And it is what it is. It just is. Call it a conspiracy theory. Call it whatever. It makes no difference anymore. It truly doesn't. It's all just... And so anyways, I digress. As soon as I stopped wearing other people's truth that they placed on me and started walking in my own truth, is when really things started to kind of slowly evolve for me. Slowly. I'm still evolving. Every day you evolve, I believe. But it really kind of changed the trajectory of myself and my purpose and my walk and my path designed for me as soon as I stopped wearing other people's truths and started walking in my own. So often enough, I think that we get bogged down in people's projections onto us and their deflections and their tendencies and their manipulative words and their gaslighting ways and the psyops and all these different things. And it can correlate to you however it does in your day-to-day activities. But we do get bogged down on the projections and deflections of other people because we so badly enough want to fit in and get validated by other people. But see, when you're trying to get validated in who you are in your truth by somebody else's projections of you, it's literally an uphill battle that you're never going to achieve. It's unachievable. You see, and you're putting your identity in somebody else's hands, really. And when you put your identity, when you put your heart, when you put your validation, your self-worth, your self-value in somebody else's hands, you're giving them that power over you. You see, and so that's where it can get really gray and take you down negative headspaces because you're trying to figure out, well, what is wrong with me? Why am I not going to amount to anything? Why doesn't anybody like me? Why can't I do anything right? Why is it that I take 5 steps forward and get 10 steps back? You know, and it's the system's kind of set up for you to take 5 forward and 10 back, and then for you to feel like crap about it. You see? And so it's one of those things, and it's also set up for people that move in, say, the desire to fit in the status quo, to kind of buy into what they're selling to where they feel worthy for whatever it is they're trying to feel worthy in. And it's kind of one of those things. Again, it's the same thing on that side too. Like, say for example, you take whatever type of bribe, you take whatever kind of money, and then you fly high in like 6 months with following or whatever contractual things you've got in reference to landing that white picket fence and that dream. But everything landing you, like as you walk that way up to that whatever castle that they told you you're going to receive, you get to that castle and then they're controlling the castle. This is what you have to say. These are the talking points you have to hit. These are the keywords you have to hit. This is your beliefs that you have to believe. This is the kind of faith you have to carry. This is a Christianity you must walk in. I'm telling you, just ask everybody. I mean, they're not going to tell you that, but I mean, you can see it. And so there's certain things in the midst of that, you lose sight of your identity, you lose sight of your soul, you lose sight of your beliefs, you lose sight of your faith, you lose sight of your relationship with God when you give it to somebody else to handle. Ooh, that's really true. Like when I was baptized in 2018. And I really that's when I really dug deep into it, got very much in my church. And there's just, again, I look forward to finding my way to a church and things. And I know in the future I will. But it's just not something I have intentions on doing in my local area right now. I'm just going to be honest. I really don't. I've made it abundantly clear. I'm very disappointed in my local area. Not everybody. I know I have people standing with me. But I just, it is what it is. I'm okay with it. I don't mind it. But it's just one of those things where I think that we really need to hone in individually, collectively, and recognizing what our truths are. Your own truths. Don't allow other people's truths that they place on you when you know they're lies. When you know they're lies. That was the biggest thing to me. It's like I was living in a world, I knew that there was projections and deflections and gaslighting being projected onto me. And I know it wasn't perfect by any means, but it wasn't warranted. It wasn't warranted. Not when a vast majority of your life you cried for help in so many different ways and you just got shushed. You got dismissed. You got silenced. And then you learned to become silent. I mean, and this is what's crazy to me, is like, I just don't know what people expect. When you throw so many stones at someone, eventually they become numb to it. Eventually they become numb to it. They're like, I don't even feel the stones anymore. You keep spitting on someone, they don't feel the spit.